Communication Engineering and Master of Engineering in Computer Science and Engineering. And she is awarded PhD for the topic Agent-Based Path Planning for Mobile Robot Navigation. She is a college-level coordinator for appropriate technologies at Tyagaraja College of Engineering. She is currently working in many real-time projects in AR, VR field. She received sponsored project titled Virtual Reality-Based Cognitive Rehabilitation for Autism Children to Improve Their Social Behavior from Department of Science and Technology Cognitive Science Research Initiative. With her team, she participated in the events conducted on International Autism Day to create parental acceptance of children with autism and did volunteer work for the yoga performed by autism children to create a world record. She has introduced many academic subjects and labs related to visual reality, augmented reality, computer vision, cognitive science, human-computer interaction, and user interface lab for students to make them gain academic knowledge and involve in emerging research. She also has a great vision, dream, and passion to establish rehabilitation center for children with autism in India. We feel honored by your presence, ma'am. On behalf of Vellala College of Engineering and Technology and Department of Computer Science and Engineering, we welcome you, ma'am. Participants, now let us invite our resource person of this session, Dr. D. Tamilchelvi, ma'am, to move this session forward. Kindly take over the session, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning to all. Good morning to all. Am I audible? Echo adigirpa. Karthi.
Good
Hello,
morning,
is it
ma'am.
audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Audible, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am,
Thank
audible,
you.
audible.
Okay. Thanks to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge in the cognitive science, and thanks for Lavanya madam for your introduction about myself to the audience. So in the morning session, Devi ma'am have given a brief information. Is the voice echoing?
No, ma'am. It's not echoing now.
Okay, somebody's in the chat window. It's a message I sent. Okay, so morning
Now
Devi
it's
ma'am
okay,
has
ma'am, no
given.
problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So morning Devi ma'am has given an overall brief introduction about what is virtual reality and what are the medical application, other things in a broader perspective. And I'm going to give information in a narrow perspective because I'm working in the virtual reality, augmented reality technology for the last 5 years for the rehabilitation for children with autism. So I'll share my presentation. And for the 1.5 hours, I plan to have a 45 minutes presentation about what is cognitive rehabilitation and what is the technology, how far it is going to connect with the particular thing. That is so 45 minutes. And the remaining 15 minutes, you can ask any doubts or questions regarding this technology or the cognitive rehabilitation or the therapy or the medical field that I am working. And last half an hour, my project associate, Mr. Karthikeyan, will give the demonstration about the augmented reality and virtual reality. Okay. Is it okay for you? Audience, is it okay for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Go in this. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So the topic I'm going to share my knowledge is cognitive rehabilitation for mental health issues using virtual reality. So actually, whenever I go and discuss with the knowledge about this area, I always want to fill the gap between the research and real world, because we are doing the research and we are doing the paper publication, we got many projects and we are working on it, but what is the real impact in the society? So that is the ultimate objective for I am entering into this particular field. So I think that I will cover this gap between the research and the real world. And this research and everything is supported by the DST, that is Department of Science and Technology, CSRA, Cognitive Science Research Initiative. And we get a grant in 2018, and our project is going on till August 2021, and we received 33 lakhs 70,800 rupees from the central government DST CSRI. And we have so this is a small introduction about how far the government is supporting for our project, so that we are having a hardware equipments. As Devi ma'am already told that it is a high cost equipments. Initial investment is very high. So the initial investment that should be taken care by the DST. So we are going on doing the project. So first, I think I can get into the things of what is cognitive science. So cognitive science is the science of mind and behavior. So it is more like how far our mind can process the information. So the mind processing the information is how our thoughts arise in your mind. So cognition is a Latin word which shows that how far the information has to be processed. That is within our brain, what are the mental process and activities. For example, whenever you are seeing, there is a perceiving, learning. So while seeing, what your brain is going to infer. So inference is nothing but it is a experience. For example, from the childhood, everyone is giving information about, okay, how the child can talk, how the child can eat, how the child can communicate with others. So learning. So this is the learning. And thinking is with the learning and the perception, how far the child is going to make its own thinking. So its own thinking is whatever we do in our real life. For example, when we are going to get up and when we are going to college and what we are going to do. So that is thinking. And understanding and remembering is how far you are going to understand yourself and how far you are going to understand others. That is a thing. So cognition is how far your mind and behavior, science of mind and behavior. And here within this, you're having many stages, like how far you're going to perceive the information and how far your brain is going to make a learning, and how far this combination of this perception and learning converted into the thinking process. And with the thinking process, how you can understand yourself and how you can remember the things and how far you are going to interact with the others. So there is a cognition. And cognitive science, again, it is a study of mind only, but it is specially emphasis of how far your knowledge and information available in the brain. There is how far in the knowledge available in the brain, that is called as a experience. So how far these experiences are connected with your neurons. So I think you all know about this neuron. I think it's a faculty, so no need to get into the more basic things. So how far the neurons will make a firing, so that whatever the question that you are going to answer, how far I'm going to give a reply. So the acquisition of knowledge and information, again, it depends on the two levels. One is with respect to the interdisciplinary approach. That is how far the many scientific disciplines contribute to this cognitive science. That is the reason we are today talking with everyone, and today we are thinking and we are doing whatever we like. And a computation approach is in terms of the neural computation. How far the neurons, billions of neurons are connected from our brain to all the organs or all the parts of the body. So how far this computational approach has to be taken. So these two things contribute for the cognitive science. So whatever we have seen in the science of mind and behavior, and this again, mind is depending on how far you are going to have a perception and learning, and how far this perception learning, how far that enable or stimulate the thinking process. So the thinking process, how far it should be making you to understand, remember, talk, analyze, etc., etc. So this cognitive science is a two. It's called as a major interdisciplinary field because it contains many things. For example, in the cognitive science, psychology plays a major role. Whenever you want to get into the research in this field, it is better to know about all these fields. So there is a psychology. In the psychology, there is no need to study about all the things. For example, you can go ahead with only the behavior experiment. For example, if I am talking with my friend and if I suddenly get anger, why it happens? So the behavior of each and every person changes with respect to what? So whatever we experience in our mind. For example, if the person is very close to my heart, I will tolerate to the level extent so that I never have anger or I will shout with the person or argue with the person. But if the person is not comfortable or I don't know about the particular person, my behavior may change. So the psychology, there is a cognitive psychology with respect to within the brain, how far our experiences are added. Experiences added with respect to our own thinking as well as our environment, as well as whatever we are exposed in the real world. So the behavioral experiment is the psychology part. So yeah, on all the top of the cognitive science, psychology is the top most important thing, and the biology. Biology is the neuroscience. What are the genetic factors, like our parents, your grandparents, and other people? So how far they are getting into the genes, and how far these genes are transformed, and how far the combination of genes from the parents, and how far it make our own characteristics. So this own characteristics may be changed with respect to the gene transformation or with respect to your thought process also. And philosophy is always giving the thought experiments to us. For example, how far the Buddha experimented and how he become a stable in his mind, or the consciously how far he is attaining the peacefulness. So there is a philosophy. So philosophy also we can experience through our thoughts. For example, whenever you are talking about the Vivekananda or the Mother Teresa or the Buddha or Abdul Kalam, whoever it may be, what is a philosophy? How far the stronger thought they are associated with the inner self, and how it should be connected with the cognitive behavior. That's why even you see Kalam is more comfortable with any religion. So there is a philosophical thought he is holding always. So that will make a philosophical way of living. And computer science, as we already know, that it is a, algorithmic analysis and simulations that we are producing whatever we want. And anthropology is how for the cross-cultural study of how people think. So this anthropology is a smaller region only, because it is, we are talking only about the medical field. No need to get into this anthropology, but cross-cultural study is most important for whenever you are going to develop it for the whole world. So these are the interdisciplinary fields associated with the cognitive science. I think you understand. Either my speed is okay for you. Do you understand? Or can I go slower? Can anybody give in a chat window? Is it okay?
It's fine, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Okay. So we have seen about the what is cognitive science and what are the interdisciplinary fields that is associated with our mind. And next we are getting into the uh, within the cognitive science, what are the aspects of cognition? So the cognition is how our mind thinks. So that we already know that perception is how far I am going to perceive the information in the world, and action is with the perception and with the learning how far I am going to do the action. For example, during the traffic jam and other things, you can see that many people are uh, by externally you can see that the people is very smart or very peaceful, but once you have some accident or other things, the people will throw many words. That is actions. Why this action happens? So within the mind, what is going on? So within the mind, whatever may be the past thoughts and the present thoughts, how far it should have a combination of this brain experience that should be fired in the neurons, so that either they can go with the calm level or they can shout with the other people. And learning is each and every action, how far you are going to make a learning. For example, during this session, after the session, if you are going to ask many questions, either I am able to answer the questions. If I am not able to answer the question, then how far I am going to make a learning over the particular field, and I can make my brain to be experienced. So that these questions, if it arises in the future, then the neurons in my brains are fired, and it is a strong connections are established. That is the reason whenever we go with some prayers, or when we go to the God, whatever the songs we play for the we sing for the God, everything is remembered without having to recollect. So that is the learning, and memory is always connected. So most of the time our memory is connected with the learning. That also we study in the computer organization, like short-term memory, long-term memory, like that many memories are reflective memory which are available. And attention is with respect to how far you are going to focus over the particular information. It is very difficult for the human mind as well as animals also to focus on the other things. So today I'm including this attention. The reason is we are working for the special children. There is a children with autism. So for the special children, it's difficult to maintain the attention because their eyes are always wandering and they have hyperactivity and they go around the thing, and there is very difficult for them to even to take their food and drink water. So for this attention, how far you're going to make, and how far the reasoning. Reasoning is why the children behave like this. Even within our family also, if you're having a kids, if you're going to observe the kids, you can see that most of the time the kids are going to talk many things. They want to explore the thing, but we will force them to stop. So the reasoning is whenever they come out with many questions, the reasoning is having a strong bound in their mind. So how far the reasoning has to be addressed. Even though children is asking the question, how far I'm going to give a reason, even though I don't know about the particular field. For example, a school student is asking me, okay, in the space, what is the other information that I don't know? Then I can reasoning, I can give the clear answer that, no, I am very well versed in this particular field, but I don't know, I have a little bit knowledge about the space. So I will go and search and I can give the answer. So if I'm giving the reason like this, then the child also learn how to make a decision making for their life. And in the reasoning and decision making, then how far the language in which you are going to communicate. So the cognitive science, the cognition, it includes all these things. So these are the fields. There is psychology, biology, philosophy, computer science, anthropology are the field that is a combination of this thing will make us to understand how our mind, our brain thinks. And the cognitive science aspect is within the mind what is happening, how far you are going to perceive, how far you are going to make action, what are the learning that is happening, and how far the learning is associated with your memory. That's why most of the people have a vengeance approach for the 10 to 15 years. Each and every action we do, it is a temporary actions, or it is a combination of whatever the learning or the memory that is associated in our brain. So you never have a judgment over yourself and others. But most of the time, as a human being, we are always judging others, and we always find fault on others, and we always make ourselves be a perfect one. But if you go into the philosophy and psychology, it is very difficult, because each and every time our mind goes think in a different way, act in a different way. So each and every action is depending on your own past experience and whatever may be the thinking thought process that arises in your mind. So after studying these things only, I have changed myself with respect to many things. Okay, how I can see the people, even the people shout with me, how I can react them in a polite way, never get into the rude way. So these are the cognition that will make us to mold ourselves first. So this cognitive science is an excellent area in which you can explore your mind, your brain, and your thoughts, and how your emotions arise, and how far your learning is happening, and how your memory is going to make over your neurons to be in a strengthening way for your subjective knowledge, in a strengthening way to handle your family. So these are the beautiful thing. And cognitive science, it is not only associated with the study of mind for the human being, it is with respect to the animal mind also. For example, the flights of the pilot, they're making a decision, they can take how far each and every birds are taking a decision. Like the computer minds, like how far the online chess play game that should be developed. There is a game development. It is a computer minds and robot minds. How the robot, the Honda Ashimo robot and Sony Aibo robot, many robots, how far they are going to include this cognitive knowledge as an algorithm, as a program, so that how far this robot can do like a human being. Even if you find a Sophia robot, which can have a cognitive mind, it is not like algorithmic mind or the other minds. It is a cognitive mind, so that it can, whatever the experience of the Sophia robot, all the experiences are added as algorithm. So the Sophia mind can know what are the words it can accept and what are the words it can reject. And group minds also. Sometimes if you are going to the gaming industry, like developing a games, multiplayer games, how far the group minds can act. Each and every attacker, how far going to make a main player to be targeted, so that the game developed by the person always wins. And whenever we go and play, sometimes we win, most of the time we fails. That is a major impact over the society. We can see many people are committing their life and going chasing the game for money and other things. But everything you go and see that group mind is the ultimate objective for game development is how far they are going to make a money. Who are the game developer at the game site, they are having that. So how far they are going to develop money. It is not like, it is just to relax, you can play the game, but you never have an impact over that. I can play the game and I can make a money and I can be better in my life. Or otherwise, water minds is for example, underwater navigation, they are using how far the fish are going into that. So this sort of minds also we can explore and we can develop. So I think I have covered the cognitive science, and these are the fields in which you can make an interdisciplinary approach to be extended. Philosophy, psychology, computers, and neuroscience, we have already seen this. And linguistics, you can add additional linguistics, like how far them communication has to be established. For example, Stanford University, they have a bot in which you can personally share whatever the things that you can't share with the doctors and other peoples. So that part is also available, and also it is used in education, mathematics, and robotics. So many fields they need cognitive science very seriously. I think in the future it will rule the artificial intelligence, and it will be a better one. So I think I have covered the 10 slides. What is cognitive science? So we have studied about the mind and how far our thoughts arises in mind, and how far the what are supporting interdisciplinary fields, and what are the perception, action, learning, thinking, thought process, reasoning, decision making, etc. How far we have learned, and now we are getting into this, how far this cognitive field can be applied to the cognitive rehabilitation system. Rehabilitation is nothing but it is how to restore the normal functioning. For example, if today I am upset, so with respect to my health condition or my financial conditions, so how far I'm going to come back. So restore is, I have to rewind my thought process, and I can ask help from my friends and family, and I can get back the money and I can restore. So like that, within our mind, what are the thoughts that is going on into our mind, how these thoughts have some other issues, how it should be get back to the normal one. So that is ultimate objective. So this cognitive rehabilitation is used in many fields like stroke. Most of the in US military, the people are affected with many injuries. They're using the rehabilitation of how far they're quickly come back to the normal world, and brain injury and Alzheimer disease. Most of the old age people memory, it goes down when the age goes around 70, 80 like that. So how far this memory disease has to be handled so that they can take their own food and they never depend on others. And autism children, Asperger, and these are the most of the diseases are related to the mind issues. That is how far it may be a problem associated with the brain, or it may be associated with our neurons connected to the brain, or it may be associated with how far our thinking process or the reasoning process or the attention issues. So many things, Parkinson disease and dementia, memory loss, and many things. So all this memory related, there is mind related issues we can handle in a cognitive rehabilitation, because the cognitive thing, whatever we studied so far is with respect to how far your brain is going to have a experience. But that's why if you want to, if you are friend with all the age people, then your brain should have a better experience. For example, most of the time we are having a friends in our age group. For example, if I am 50 means I can have a friendship with the 8-year children and 20, 25, 30, 50, 70, 80. So that all the age people experience are added together as a thought process within my brain. So that this brain will give an experience so that I know, okay, at this age, what will happen for the particular people, so that how I can handle. That's why most of the people, it is very difficult for them to accept the disease, whatever. For example, the person is affected with the sugar or pressure, it is very difficult for them to accept. But instead of accepting, the 25 to 30 years, you can be ready with the thing. Okay, if I am go for a regular physical activity, and if I make mind to be a peace of mind, the possibility of sugar and pressure I can postpone in my life. So these things has to be known in prayer so that you can avoid these things. But this cognitive rehabilitation is not avoiding something happened to the particular person or the human being. How far you are going to make them to restore to the normal functioning. So that is the cognitive rehabilitation. Whatever the issues associated in our mind or in our brain or in our neurons that is having a connectivity, so that we can stimulate and do the activities. So that is a cognitive rehabilitation. And this cognitive rehabilitation mostly associated with the theory of mind. Theory of mind is what is the mental state of our mind. For example, after 11:30, it is very difficult for to sit in the class, so that you can make your mobile to see what is happening in other your WhatsApp groups or others maybe. So the mental state is what is the thoughts, beliefs, and the emotions. It cannot be in a stabilized level. Only with respect to our higher officials, we can stay in a mental state like a Buddha. But it's a present moment we can stay. But other times our mind is wandering different levels. So how far these thoughts, belief, and emotions are available within the particular human being and within the others. So this mental states are taken into the information by the system. So how far it has to be our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are converted into the information. It should be with the beliefs, intents, desires, and emotions, knowledge. So we can easily convert whatever the thoughts arise in mind. That's why even if you go with the depression to the psychiatric doctor, then they can talk to the patient and talk to the parents and talk to the relatives, friends, and they will conclude and they can make, okay, the person has to sit for 5 sittings or 3 months or 1 year. So based on the depression level, they can decide. So that is how far with respect to the issues associated with the mind, they can have a roadmap. So that within the roadmap, they can fix, okay, where the particular problem lies. Either it may be a student, it is with respect to the gender issues, or it may be a 30 to 40 age, there may be some other financial issue, or it is 40 to 50 age, there may be a health issue. So so even there should be a combination of issues also, so that how far the doctor is going to make what are the intents and the desires, and how far the emotions are to be available with the persons, how far the knowledge level transformation of, first they will always, most of the time if you go the depression in the higher level, the doctors will give the sleeping tablets, make them to sleep, and so that they can calm down our mind. So once calm down the mind, then only they can explore what are the problem associated within the mind. So theory of mind is very, very important whenever you talk about this rehabilitation. And another one is the executive function. Executive function is how far you are having a self-control level. So are the cognitive functions, how far you are going to facilitate for the problem solving. There is, for example, if I want to achieve after 5 years some other goal in my career or in my family. So for this, how far I'm going to make an attainment. So attainment is how far you're going to make a planning, How far this planning has to be in a controlled manner, because we plan for day to day, but every day we are changing our plans. So the plans may change, but how to have control over the plans, how to have a maintenance over the plan, and how far you are going to make the organization of your plan, and how far it has to be available in the working memory. That is most important, because active memory, passive memory, we always go with the a passive memory. Active memory is very difficult to manage. So for this working memory has to be taken, and how far the flexibility of thoughts and actions. So the flexibility is playing a major role for how to maintain the human relations, and how far you are going to maintain your career research also. So this executive function is whatever may be the difficulties associated with our function, how far you are going to make a planning and cognitive flexibility and working memory. For example, if I plan for that, okay, within December I want to complete this particular project, but if I'm not touching the project, no need to worry. I planned for December 30 days, but 29th date only I realized that, okay, I've never touched the particular part. I think most of the faculties are doing PhD, so you are always having a postponing with respect to our day-to-day college and online classes. So how far you are going to make a cognitive flexibility over the working memory. So every day you should have a subconscious level of, that is, whenever you go for a sleep or whenever you wake up, you should always have a subconscious level of making that, okay, today I'm going to make a 1 hour to be used for myself, or 1 hour to be used for my research, or 1 hour to be used for my passion, so that you can add a single drops of water, like how far the crow is getting a water. We get a story, we learn the story in our childhood, like that every drop you can make every day, so that automatically, even though you are not achieving the December 30th, you can achieve the January 30th. So you can postpone 1 month, but you can make it available. So that is the planning, that is the executive function. So this two things, there is a theory of mind and the executive function. Here only the problem arises. So this two areas in which the people have a difficulty, we can call them as a patients, or we can call them as a mentally retarded, autism children, Asperger, or whatever it may be, anything, even the Parkinson disease. So all mind related issues are due to these two things only. Theory of mind and how far this executive functions are built in our mind or change in our mind with respect to our emotions. For example, sometimes people very close to our heart, we lost due to some accident, other things, so we get into the depression. So how far the executive function? Executive function is we have to study more books like philosophical thought, how far the Buddha and other people. So the philosophy is you have to accept the things. It is very difficult to accept, but how far the accepting happens in other people's. If you study this should be added as an experience to your brain, so that whenever it happens to you, for example, if any health issue happens to me today or tomorrow, how far I'm going to take. So if I'm studying many people, and if I see many struggling people and I'm going with them, then that experience is added to my mind, so that I don't have a fear to face the particular disease. I can have a ability to face the disease, and I can come out of the disease, or I can try the disease to my level best. So that is the executive functioning. So where this mental disabilities occurs, so this affects function in our two areas. One is the intellectual functioning and another one is the adaptive functioning. Intellectual function is the general mental ability, like whatever the reasoning. For example, reasoning, why I have to wake up at 6 o'clock, and why I have to plan for my life, problem solving, like whatever the work that should be given in the college or in your home, and abstract thinking, what I can do for that, and understanding the complex issues. Sometimes the student may have some complaint to us, or we can make a complaint to other faculties, what it may be. So how far you are going to understand the things and learning quickly and learning from the experience. For example, if somebody is unnecessarily targeting you for the 2 years, no need to worry about those things. This is their nature. So no need, there is the intellectual way for making a functioning in a betterment for each and every human being. So intellectual is, if the person is continuously torturing me for 2 years, no need to, I am going to give the same thing to the particular person. I can express the person in a kind and polite way, and if the same person is doing like that, I can just ignore. Just like your system, we are always having a okay, cancel, and ignore. So the third option mostly we never choose, but this option we choose in life for whatever the things that makes us to worry, then will automatically come out. So that is the learning from experience. So this intellectual functioning, it is a very difficult for. Let's say people are having a stress, pressure, and other things. So these things. This area also make the people to not a normal people or abnormal people, or you can say that is a special children or special people. And adaptive behavior is how far you are going. These things will affect the people. So how is the behavior? So this is the intellectual functioning issues. How far this intellectual functioning issues that will affect our human being. It is a daily life we can face the problem. For example, reasoning, if I don't know how to take a food, it is the daily life is very difficult. And communication, if I need a food, I don't know how to express, then it is a communication issue. And social skills is the special people or the people have issues in the particular intellectual functioning, then it is very difficult for them to interact with the people, and how to make a people to be managed with a flexible relationship. So even with all the people, within the family and with adults and others also, there is a problem. So these are the two ways. The intellectual function, if it affects any human being, then the person is not a normal person, and this should be reflected in the behaviors. So it is a daily life behaviors, or a communication, or a social skill behavior. So what are the impairment ranges? For example, if I am going to depression for some other reason, due to my family reason or my financial constraint, means the signs may be different, because I cannot take a food, I don't go for a proper sleep, I never take a food, or I don't respond in a better ways. These are the early signs. Like the many early signs, the list, I think I have given a many list. It is for various diseases, so you just leave it. But these are the things, so that my close family people can see me, or my son can ask, why you are not talking to me, or why you are not responding to my questions. Even my mother can ask. So these are the ways in which they can track the people. And if the symptoms, if they are not tracking, then automatically it goes into the medium and severe level. So it is very difficult. So the early symptoms are the most important thing. And the doctors, so I think up to this slide I have covered what is a human being cognitive science, and what are the cognitive impairments, and what is cognitive rehabilitation. And within the cognitive rehabilitation, what are the intellectual functioning that is not proper, we call it as a special people. And for the functioning, how far we are going for the next level. And for this, all these human happenings of the special children, or the special people, or the people having a mental related or mind related issues, how far the diagnosis has to be done. So the diagnosis, doctors are having a, psychiatric doctors are having a DSM-5 manual. There is all the doctors, if you talk to the doctor, psychiatric doctor, they can give them diagnostic and statistical manual of the American Psychiatric Association. This statistical manual gives a list of, there is hundreds of thousands of symptoms. All these symptoms, how far it should be connected with the biological, psychological, social factors, we have to understand. So whenever you want to get into the medical research, you first understand this, a manual, how far that should be used by the doctors, and how far they are going to predict the diseases. So these are up to this figure I have covered the human perspective of how the mind and how the brain and how the issues associated with the cognitive thinking, and how are the factors that affect our mind. And now we are going to the support for the technology that should be used for a rehabilitation intervention assessment. So we can use the augmented virtual reality and the mixed reality. I think morning Devi ma'am have beautifully explained about all the technologies and all the areas in which real world applications are going on. So I think I can get into the thing. So virtual reality, the three things, there is major, okay, is I3, that is imagination, interaction, and immersion. Imagination is how far you are with the virtual reality technology, how you can make the people to imagine that they are in the real world. That imagination is very, very important. That's why whenever you go to the movie, when you watch the movie, you become a part of the movie, and you can cry, you can laugh, and you can enjoy. Sometimes the people may feel the movie for 1 or 2 times. Like Devi ma'am told about the empathy. No? Empathy is like within the particular character, you are more associated. That is the imagination and the interaction. You feel that you are the hero and you are the particular character, and during the interaction happen, you think you are within the particular thing, so that you are crying for a long time, or you are enjoying for the long time. So there is an interaction. Immersion is without knowing yourself, how your mind can be fooled. That is fooled means, for example, sometimes the fooling happens in our real life also. We believe some people, and we talk with the people for 2 or 3 years. After 3 years only, we can understand that the people are not good or not reliable or whatever the things. So that is the emotion is how far you are going to fool in the brain. So after 3 years only, you experience that, okay, the person is coming for this particular task only, and he or she never going to have empathy over ourselves, so that you can understand. So the immersion is the imagination you are going to create in the virtual world. Interaction is how far the people, once the imagination happen, for example, once you enter into the theater, you automatically your imagination happen. So the interaction also happens. Whenever there is a fight, you automatically close your eyes. So there is an interaction. You feel that the particular person is going to hit. You can't tolerate the thing. There is interaction. Emotion is you feel into the particular thing, and you can cry, laugh, or whatever the thing that is happening. So the virtual reality, these 3 triangles are most important. These 3 triangles are the basic information to create whatever the rehabilitation that we want to give for the people. I think I can skip the slide because the Devi ma'am have informative session. Okay. So because the Devi ma'am has explained all those things, so how far you are going to stimulate, because we are having a five senses like our ears, nose, and eyes, which is most important, and our motors like fingers and entire body. So you are having a five senses. How these senses are to be fooled so that you think that yeah, it is really happening now. You are wearing a virtual reality headset and you are thinking that you are in the real world. So that is the ultimate objective for this virtual reality. And next step is how far you are going to make other things. Just like I think in future everything should be a VR based game, so that you can feel, you can even if you go to the FIFA World Cup, you can go and watch in the ground itself. That is possible. Instead of watching in the TV, you should in the virtual reality, you can be one of the person in the particular FIFA World Cup and you can watch in the European countries. That sort of reality is possible in the virtual reality. And virtual reality 1990 they have started. I think even Sutherland, I think, I don't know the university, I forget. So he only started with the virtual reality headset to wear, and how to make the people to cut out of the real world and forcing them to enter into the virtual world. And 2014, when the smartphone industry evolved and low cost and portable, that will make VR experiences. So it can be applied to all the fields. Every company is getting into the VR now. I think 2025 there should be a VR as a major area compared to the AI and other parts. So that sort of development is going on. And other technologies, you can say that augmented reality. So augmented reality is a graphical projection of whatever the objects, and you can make the object to have animation. You can add the audio video so that the people, special children, have attention to get into the particular field. So there is augmented reality. Mixed reality is you can use the haptic devices. For example, if you go to the malls, you can find the 7D 11D like that, so that they can include one chair and you can make a belt, and they can make you to get into a different direction, making you feel that you are getting into the particular treasure land, and you can enjoy the things, or you can get into the Disney World. Even that is during this COVID period, without having any passport and visa, you can go around the world with the VR technology. So that is the beautiful thing about this VR. And XR is the extended reality. How far you are going to make this not only virtual reality, augmented reality, you can include other haptic devices like hand gloves and other things, so that you can make the doctors to have a better understanding about how they can do the surgery in the virtual world, and so that you can save the life of every people. Because sometimes if a small mistake happens, that will have a human loss for the particular family. So that should be avoided with this XR, that is extended reality solutions. And I think definition I can skip. I think ma'am have told targeted behavior is how the people, the behavior that should be we expect from the people wearing the headset. Organism is, it is with respect to either the human being or animal or whatever it may be. Sensory stimulation is how far our eyes and nose and hands, how far you are going to make action. For example, if a butterfly, if any other insect fly near our eyes, automatically we close our eyes. Like artificial intelligence, we have studied about the reflective action. Like that, within the sensory stimulation that is happening in the virtual world also. That is a thing we have to develop. And awareness of, there is no awareness of the interference. They forget about the external world and they are enjoying in the virtual world. So that is the ultimate objective. I think I have explained all these things. And so this perception engineering is a major part. For example, engineering, we are having a VR hardware and software. Our project associate will explain about VR software and VR hardware, how much the cost and what is the software that is available, how we can use it. But reverse engineering is how far you understand whatever the part I have explained in the 20 slides, I think. So there is a human physiology, how you can understand how far the human physical nature, how far the mental nature, and how far the cognitive nature, and how far the interaction with other people. There is a physiology, psychology and philosophy and other things associated. Each and every people behavior. Even if you see the child below 1 year, you can predict the cognitive development of the particular child. For example, if the parents are talking about the more negative words or more hitting the child or whatever, something like that, the child is also having the same rude behaviors. But if you make the child to give a respect from the third month to 13 or even 30 years, you can make the child to be your friend. And if you give a respect the child, then the perception will change. The child will see everything in a positive way. So that is the reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is what makes the child to be angry, what makes the child to be upset. So you should never have this particular impact, but you can explain the child in a different perspective. You can give some story books, and you can give some our beautiful traditional stories available in all religions, and you can make the child what is a moral or what is a good thing, what is a bad thing. That's why even if child behaves very rude in a common place, you never scold the child. It is a mistake of the parents only. How the parents are giving input to the child so that the child respect every people they come into the home. Whoever it may be come to our home, how the child is responding to the particular person. That is a human perception. So we have to go in a reverse engineering. You understand how the child thinks, how the brain thinks, and how the brain grows with the cognitive behaviors, and how far the cognitive behavior thinks that is associated, and how far it is going to for the behavioral level. So that is a reverse engineering. So how far you are going to connect these two things. So the perception engineering is having a VR software hardware, that is a technical part, and every human being having a different physiology and different perception, because the perception differs. If you watch if 10 people are watching the movie, every people are having a different opinion, so the perception differs. So how far this reverse engineering is going to connect the technology with this perception so that it can fool the particular brain and make the people to immerse into the world, and they can enjoy that they are in the particular real world. So these are some of the things I think Devi ma'am have beautifully explained. So this is a fearophobia. For example, if some person is having a fear over some other forest, then you can create the virtual environment, make them to get into the particular environment with the support of the psychiatrist, so that they can make the fear to be reduced drastically, not in a immediate way, 100%. For example, if I am fear about the cockroach means I cannot remove the fear to 100%. I have to remove the fear by 90%. They first make the cockroach to fly very far from me, then make the cockroach near to me. Then at the end of the therapy, the cockroach come to my hand, then I can make the cockroach to go out, and I can go walk in a better way, like a leaf is coming to my hand. So just like that, how far you are going to make a rehabilitation. And here the military people, for example, during the war period, they can there may be issues associated with the surgeries in their hand or legs, the second figure. So how far they are going to make a play, because whenever we go for physiotherapy, we always feel that we are like a patient. But whenever you are giving a gaming environment, you can play with that, then it is easy for us to, okay, I want to kick the ball. So first they will kick the ball with a very lightweight, so that the movement of what is a 20-degree, 30-degree movement that should be associated. Then the ball, they can make a heaviness in the virtual reality environment, and they can kick the ball so that they can force the particular ball so that the ball will move. In this way, they can make the military people to train so that they can come back to the normal level in a better way. So this is another one technology. And what is the difference between the virtual reality and augmented reality? Augmented reality, you are in the real world, and with the Google Glass, you can visualize the virtual world. But in the virtual reality, you are cut off from the real world, and you are forced to get into the imaginary world, and you can do the actions. And medical therapy, I think in the Washington University, they are having, I think Devi ma'am already explained, so I think no need to get into those things. So for example, for the fire accidents, no, people will feel very pain. Even if you are having a very small fire that happens during the cooking or in our home, we feel very pain. So how far this pain should be managed? They make a virtual, here it is a stationary VR device. I think our researchers will show what are the VR devices and what are the devices we have and what we can do. But here this VR fixed device, the person can see whatever we like. For example, the person likes a snowy environment and he want to walk through in the Kashmir, means the Kashmir environment is created and the person can walk through. So during the time, the particular nurses doing the whatever maybe the surgery, other things that should be needed. There's a fearophobia. And in the China, and all the medical students are having AR glasses so that they can visualize the heart and how each and every vessels and how far the blood circulation that goes around, everything that should be managed. And here also the therapy, here the last figure is IIT Chennai. They are having a touch lab that should be run by the Manivanan sir, and they are making the cadaver and whatever maybe the here sees doctor, and whatever the thing that she want to do with the cadaver or the dead body, they can do in the virtual world. There each and every virtual product they are making as a 3 or 5 crores, and they are selling it as a product. So you can visit the particular IIT lab also. And this is what is the technology. This is the next level for the higher end VR. There is a cave environment, cave automatic virtual environment. Here all the figures, the people are wearing the headset. But as Devi ma'am told, it is very difficult to wear the headset for a long time. So you can have this VR system you need for you have to invest for minimum 2 lakhs for the system, or 4 lakhs for a gaming laptop, or this headset. You can get a Google Cardboard for a lower rate of 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. But if you get into the Oculus or HTC Vive, it is a minimum 70,000, 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, like that. So I think Karthi and sir will share the knowledge. But here, no need to wear the device. Here, the entire environment, all the 6 sites are having a virtual reality. So so that you can walk around without wearing any devices. But this costs minimum 80 lakhs to 1 crore. So this cave environment is a beautiful technology that should be adapted for many of the health related issues as well as for the normal people also. And our research we are doing for that, these are some of the projects developed by our students, virtual reality projects we developed so that the people enter into the particular virtual world, they feel that and they interact with that and immerse into the world, and whatever the changes that are happening, we are measuring with the assessment tools that should be available. And these are the interactive things. That is, if the special children, they want to play the keyboard, the special children want to go for the shopping, how they can do it in the virtual world, we can train them and they can do it in the real world without fear and without having other things. And we have conducted the workshop like 2017 and 19 with the IIT and another one company in Bangalore-based company. They're the professional VR developers and they are supporting us for the, we have a MOE with them and they are supporting us. Our students are going for the internship and they are learning how to make a professional development. And this is the thing, for the last 5 years our students have developed a company called TXR Solution, Theory Extended Reality Solutions, and now they have started last month and they are going to make it as a product. So this is the outcome that I want to share with you. And this is the cognitive science research group. I think from 11:30 to 45 minutes, I have covered what is cognitive science, what is virtual reality, and what is augmented reality, and how far this perception engineering, it is going to connect the human physiology and human perception with the technology. So with this technology, how far you are going to connect to the thing and making the people brain experience to be fooled. That is a real thing. For example, sometimes the children are crying, we automatically give some chocolates or whichever they like. So automatically they immerse into the particular field and they forget why they are prayed for the particular last reason. Same thing that is we are happening in the virtual reality environment also. I think within the 45 minutes I have covered. The 15 minutes you can ask any questions. Once again, share the feed. Okay, I think feedback link, okay. So 45 minutes I have shared about the cognitive science, rehabilitation, and how far our human mind thinks, and where the problem occurs, and how to address the problem with the technology. So I think.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can post in the chat box.
So 12:15 to 12:30, I can answer the questions, and 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I think Project Assistant will give the demonstration of what is VR and demonstration of what is happening in our lab. So in the medical field, a huge number of openings are there. We have taken autism in 2015 and we have traveled and we have developed a company within our college. So that is a real proud for our department as well as our students also. They have started their own life in their own native place. So this sort of improvement is possible with the VR because the technology is not used in VR in India. So you can take any problem, any mind related issues or any mind and body connectivity like motor skills also. Motor skills or the neural issues, or you can take for your brain experience. Sometimes you lost memory also. For the lost memory also, how far you can develop the VR environment so that the people will again retain their memory. So that is also possible. Any other questions? The augmented reality, as Devi Mama shared, it is a very, it is not expensive. You can go with it. And virtual reality, the cave environment is the cost is minimum 80 lakhs to 1 crore. Other things you can develop within, I think, if you are having a minimum 5 to 6 lakh, you can establish the VR lab with one setup and you can go and extend with the other things. So we have a MSI laptop, which is nearly 4 lakhs and which can support for the VR technology to develop, because developing the graphics card is very higher end. The graphics card itself, it costs nearly 1.5 lakhs, I think. And gaming laptop is 2.5 lakhs. So nearly 4 lakhs we need to purchase for this VR development alone. And we can use the other headsets like Oculus, HTC and other Google Cardboard lower end devices and higher end devices. And cave environment, I think I have told, within the cave environment, no need to wear the devices. You just hand-free movement and you can go and enjoy the 6 degrees of freedom and you can enjoy and the emotion happens automatically. Any other doubts? Since the topic given to is medical field, I have covered only the cognitive and rehabilitation. If anything you want, I'm ready to share. This cognitive science area will make us to first we realize ourselves. Yes, ma'am. Any questions? You can ask only your questions, only I can learn many things.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can we trace the blood flow using
Sir, I couldn't hear your voice, sir. Can you give me a chat window, sir?
yes,
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear your voice. It's breaking. Is my presentation is clear to you? Can we trace the blood flow through scans? Blood flow through scans, but not through scans, but for this COVID period, they are taking that for the coronavirus attacking each and every part, they are making the VR simulation so that the researchers can understand that which part it is going to, for example, if it is affecting the lungs, why some people will survive and why some people will lose the life. So it is like a virtual walkthrough, they can do it, but it is not a scan. But scan here, we are register the entire, for example, I am telling about the same thing. They have registered the entire internal organ like our liver and other parts that is registered. So the registered information is like a image only. So within the image, they are going to include the factors that how the coronavirus go and affect the particular areas. So it is not like a scan. It is like a flow of organism, how it goes around the body and how it affects. So that is possible. But through scans, I don't know the things, scans. Because each and everything we can develop it as a model. Your internal organ we can develop it as a model, or we can make a virtual walkthrough of already existing model available, and we can explore the virtual reality. Instead of a scan, we can explore with the models. I think, sir, I have answered your question. Trace the blood flow through scans. Even China and Korea also, each and every surgery they are doing with the VR only. Virtual reality, they are making the trial and options, and once they do very well, then they can be allowed to go for the real surgery. And like a pilot, they are giving a certification. Also, they are using the VR technology for a different dangerous condition, how the pilots are taking a decision. Then only they are giving a certification. So in the VR is mostly used in the military and Navy areas and virtual medical field also. Okay. You please ask any questions, not only related to VR. You can ask anything about psychology, or you can ask about philosophy. How far you can go with a different perspective. I'm ready to answer. But only thing, you have to connect what is in our mind and what is in the technology. How far you are going to connect the perception engineering and make it as a solution for the society or the people. Bringing AR and VR to classroom. I think future classroom will be like that only. VR classrooms will develop so that no need to go to the school, and entire classroom will be available. Even the Facebook now they are going for the social media, how to have an interaction with our friends, like whatever the character they want to be. So that sort of technology is already adapted in Facebook, and now they are in the research. So in future, AR technology you can adapt in education. It is already adapted in China and Korea, and now the adoption is going on in other universities like Washington University. If you go to the Stanford University, you can find a beautiful way of in which the AR field is used for the education. And VR classrooms also we can go for it. But only thing is, wearing a head mount is a tedious issue. AR you can use it for half an hour or 1 hour, but VR it is very difficult because if you wearing for maximum 10 to 15 minutes, you automatically feel somewhat motion sickness or motion tiredness will happen, and sometimes you can feel that gorilla arms experience. Gorilla arms experiences this mental tiredness will irritate our mind. Even if you, for example, if you watch the TV programs during the Diwali or any festival programs, for the entire day, your mind will be automatically tired because most of the advertisement you are seeing for 100 times and most of the things that is never useful to you, it will get back into your memory so that you mentally feel tired. You can't walk. You can see the youngsters also sitting in front of the TV and changing the channels and watching the media for long time. From 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, you are watching 2 movies, you have to take 8 hours or something like that. You're mentally tired. This mentally tiredness with respect to, even though this visual information, if it overflows into your mind, automatically your brain will get tired. So that is one drawback in the VR. I think Devi ma'am also explored the information, but VR technology that Apple company, they are eliminating this gorilla sickness by means of making the perception engineering concept to be a stronger one, but it needs a very high end cost. Like Apple mobile, you have to purchase for 1 lakh and above things like that. That Google mobile, it can support for all those things. But VR is only thing is, if you go for a VR, it is better to go with a cave environment. So cave environment, I already told, no? I think this cave environment, you can go with. So this is a cave environment. So here no need to wear anything. You just go and sit and you can explore all the things. But here you can sit it for 1 or 2 hours so that you can make a class also. But it is very difficult wearing the head mount for a long time. It will make issues to our health also. So that is a major drawback. Okay, thank you for the 2 questions. Bringing an AR and VR to classrooms. AR, it is absolutely okay. VR, it is very difficult. But once you establish a 80 lakhs to 1 crore investment and creating a cave environment, then you can beautifully make the VR classroom to be used by all the students. But again, the interaction also, it is a major issue. You can make only one student to go and explore. You can't make all the people to explore because it is very difficult to develop the VR environment itself. It takes time as well as the processing also time, because the VR, you are wearing the head mount device and a tracking device can track the entire body movement, and this tracking information is given back to the virtual environment that should be created, so that this system computation and human task has to be coordinated. There is a perception engineering. So that many areas are involved. I think Karthikeyan will explain all those things during his demonstration. I will also explain. So that is a difficult thing. So even in the VR classroom, you can make only one person to interact. Any other doubts? Can we move on to the demo session, please? If no other questions? Or any questions you can ask. Coordinator, please allow to share my screen. Sir, can you please allow Mr. Karthikeyan his mail ID?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Just a minute.
Okay, sir. So that he can share his screen and he can show the demonstration.
Okay.
So thanks a lot for your patience listening, and I'm very thankful to the organizers for giving an opportunity. Now a demonstration will be given by Mr. Karthikeyan, and I am also associated with him. And any doubts you can ask at any time in the chat window. I'm ready to answer, and I'm very happy to answer. I think thank you so much. I can wind up the session. Now we will get into the demonstration session. Thanks to the organizers and thanks to Devi Madam for introducing me to the college.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any
Ma'am,
other
Supriya,
doubts?
ma'am.
Yes, sir. Kathy, share that. Mozilla வேணா யூஸ் பண்ணி பாரு. Yes. Sharada? Yes. So I think Karthikeyan will start the session.
Hello. May I audible? Hello, may I audible?
Yes, so now it is audible, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Karthikeyan, Research Associate, Yarada College of Engineering. I would like to thank Dr. Dabchani ma'am to giving this opportunity. First of all, we creating VR environment using Unity. Unity is a software to create VR virtual environment. This is a virtual environment we created Tepokola model. And the system requirements is nearly in the processor is a high-fi and higher end. GPU is NVIDIA GeForce GTS 1060 or higher. Memory requirement is minimum 4 GB, 8 GB is recommended. Operating system Windows 10. This is a VR system requirements. Then what are the VR headsets is available in market? First one is Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift is a head-mount device with two controllers. We can interaction with that controller only. Then Oculus Quest. Oculus Quest is a standalone head-mount device. Then HTC Vive. HTC Vive is a HTC Vive. We having Pro Eye series. Pro Eye series means it will detect eye gaze movement, so we can track which object that the person is see in that virtual environment. That virtual Pro Eye series, the cost is nearly 2.5 lakhs. HTC Vive is nearly 80,000. Oculus Rift nearly 80,000. We are having a higher end system. We are having MSI laptop for nearly 4 lakhs. That MSI laptops having 2080 graphics card with 32 GB RAM, 2 TB hard disk. Hard disk is a SSD hard disk. We are having tablets. We are having head-mount device. We are having mic and headset. So before go to the demonstration, what are the software used in virtual environment? We are using Unity software only. So create that 3D model. So using Unity and Unreal is also available. We created 3D model using Maya and Blender. Using that 3D model, we created, we imported in the virtual environment. This is a Unity environment. Next one, we using C# coding to create that interaction between controller and in virtual environment. This is a Steam app. Using that Steam app, we can. It is also available in the Play Stores. Using that Steam app, we can directly go to the virtual environment using Google Earth. Already, many of them know Google Earth through virtual walkthrough. That Google.
Okay.
That Google Earth environment. This is a live demonstration. பார்க்கலாமா 1 minute. Where is it? Okay.
So whatever he is doing here. Okay. So this is a Google Earth VR. He is wearing the
head-mount device. Okay. This is head-mount device, Oculus Rift. I am having 2 controllers.
So the entire body is tracked by this base station. I think I was saying this. So this is the base station. Here the laser base tracking. This Oculus.
Oculus Rift sensors.
So the base tracking base station will, through the laser, it can track the entire body of the Karthikeyan. And this information is given to the Google Earth VR there. So you're seeing that he's going for the Earth exploration. So with these 2 controllers, right and left controllers, he can he's going for the Earth travel. So you can visualize both the things. Here he's having a control and how far he is getting into the Earth VR.
Earth VR.
So here only cognitive science that happens. How far the entire body of the cortical is tracked by this two base station, and how far the Google Earth there is already available software, how far he is going to explore the world. So you can go around wherever you want if you want to be.
Okay, this is using this controller, we can drag from one place to another, move one place to another place. Okay, this is the online Google Earth VR. Okay. Sometimes it will supporting some Google Street View. For example,
So you can go to wherever the place you want to be without passport, and so you can go and walk through, and you can experience a virtual walkthrough also.
okay, this is our college. See that Google Street View.
So that you can reach the other part from there itself, and you can go around the world. So whatever he is visualizing, it is shown in the Google Earth here. So the Oculus eye tracking is, the eye tracking can track what he is seeing, and the information is given to the data so that we can do the analysis. Either the children's or whatever the disease that we are giving for the rehabilitation, either this particular children are seeing, visualizing, enjoying, the eye tracking is possible. That's the reason the cost is 2.5 lakhs.
Okay, this is a real-time example.
He's standing in the Tirupuramattam hills and he is visualizing all the day.
Okay.
So I think
Next.
okay.
Next week, walk through environment in Teppakulam environment.
Is it demonstration? Is it okay for you? If you have any questions, you please ask. So the base station is having a laser tracking, it tracks the person, and the Earth VR is having a software, so it connects the person with the software, so that he feels that yes, I'm into the particular world. Okay. So the first one is the Google Earth VR, that is already available in the Play Store. Now we are showing what we have developed for our Madurai Teppakulam and what are the music instruments that we are developing, so that we can make the children to have emotions, how we can trigger the children's emotions. How are you zooming in and out? So these are the controllers. He is having a hand. So he is having two controllers. So I have just shown the base stations. The base stations within the area only the base stations it covers. So if he goes out of the particular area, it can't. Whatever he is pressing, he never get into the particular thing. Voice is breaking. Oh, sorry.
Using these two controller, we can navigate in virtual environment from this place to this place, this place. Okay, this is a Teppakulam environment we created. Next, another one is a music environment.
So virtual reality, but there are higher end systems that we are developing the software. So in the higher end system, we are developing software. These are the base station. In the base station, the laser trackers are there. In the two laser trackers track பண்ணி ஒரு rectangle region குள்ள தான் நம்ம எல்லா walk through பண்ண முடியும். We can't walk entire room. இந்த seminar hall நாங்க walk பண்ண முடியாது. This இந்த base station தான் வந்து full cover பண்ணி இதோட entire body track பண்ணி அங்க கொடுக்கும். So that now he is playing the instrument. Can you stimulate it? Can you climb the walls with this?
Yeah. Yes, available.
This function is available, but only thing is here the motion sickness is again an issue. most of the people, instead of going for a gym now, gym is closed during the COVID period. So most of the people, instead of going for the gym, they just stimulated the thing. But some people, they may be motion sickness occurs, sometimes they fell down. So these are the issues associated, not for all the people, for some people only. For example, if my students can work in the particular VR environment for a long time, but I can't VR for 10 to 15 minutes, immediately I just remove the head mount. So it is related to the each and every individual. Can you stimulate climbing? Yes, ma. Yes, sir. So you can stimulate for climbing to the upstairs also. Another dog stimulation.
இல்ல மேம் ரெடி பண்ணுங்க.
Okay. So you can stimulate climbing to the upstairs also. That is also possible. But only thing, development, it needs very patience for everyone, because we have to think in a two perspective. That is, as a developer, you are going to develop. At that time, you have to think about how far the user is going to be here and how far he is going to walk. Automatically, the environment should also move so that he feel the thing. So that part is very difficult and very needs time for. So the VR development needs more time. But once you are connected with all these tracking devices and whatever with the controllers, he's having two controllers. One controller, the controllers.
Yes, ma'am. Left hand controller and right hand controller using this keys. This is a teleport area. From one place to another place, we just press and release means it will navigate in virtual environment. These buttons are interaction buttons, X, Y, and trigger button. Trigger button is used to rotate in a virtual environment screen. This is hold button used to pick up any objects in the virtual environment. We use this hold button. Same in right controller. So it is easy to carry because from here trigger is there and hold button is there. So we can move one place to another place, means you just navigate.
So within the small square region only he can do whatever actions. If it goes beyond the region, this base station will never detect the Cartesian entire human body, and whatever the actions he do, it will not be implicated in the software. So within the particular area only he can do entire, even you can walk through the entire world only having a VR headset and software. So that is possible.
This is a robot hand. Just if you rotate means the hand will automatically rotate.
On the drums,
Okay.
So how far you are going to fix the base station is very important. The base station has to be fixed in a diagonally opposite, so that within the square area, whatever the action he is doing, automatically is replicated in the particular software, so that he feel that yes, I am playing the instrument. Or feel from you. But tracking sensors on the Cartesian detect panela, it is very difficult for them. The area can't be panela, it is difficult. That's the reason we are having a two controllers. One controller will take care of the interaction, one controller will take care of how far you are going to move. So entire Parisian or chinna square region click panni நான் அந்த இடத்துல போயிட்டு இருக்க மாதிரி I can feel that. So you can see the Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple and other things, so that people enjoy that yes, I am in a Madurai and I am playing what are the things that I want.
Okay.
Please ask the doubts. Then only you can also learn and we can also feel happy.
The next part is AR, augmented reality. This is a image-based target. That is, one hen is there.
Camera.
This is image-based target. We having Samsung tablet. The 3D model will projection using that image target.
So this is AR. You don't need to wear a headset or anything. Just we are having a tab in our hands and we are having a so it's a marker-based thing, so that you can make the special children to learn with respect to the thing. So it is not for the normal children; it is for the special children who specially do. So we are in the real world and we are seeing the projection of the virtual world. So the children say that there may be a strong neuron connection that is not available for the special children. Whenever they have a perception concept, perception engineering, as I told, no, because whenever you have a visual perception, you learn more. So the bigger reason we are developing this AR also. Where is it? On the ball environment. So fine motor skills and gross motor skills for hands are to be enhanced by means of the other game developed by our researchers. Game. So children, how far the hand coordination and how far the visualization and how far they are going to make an interaction. So that's why we learned a small firing one. So how special children, how far they identify the colors, how they can choose the color, and which bacteria they want to get. So this is a small ways we learn. The children should go around and find out. It's not for the normal children, it's for the special children. So during the play, automatically make them to experience the play. So this is a complicated. Because whenever you give the so this is developed for the special children because whenever you give the oral instruction, it is very difficult for the kids to interact. So we make an interactive environment for the kids to learn the basic things for their day-to-day life, so that the behavior can be altered in a basic level. Then we can go with the advanced level. This is a starting level in which you can make the children to have smaller changes in the behavior, smaller changes in the cognition, thought, and how far the brain experience has to be added. So this is a basic level. We can go into the next advanced levels also. So whatever I'm talking in the lecture session with respect to the perception concept, whenever you wear the head mount device, automatically entire body is tracked, and whenever you are having a controllers, the base station will track the entire thing, and it is give the information as a data to this system. So within the system, the VR software, it connects the human being to the virtual world, so that he is playing with it, each and every play activity he is enjoying. So he is disconnected from the external world and forced to get into the internal world. So the children feels very happy whenever they go for the things. There is a special children. Thanks a lot for your positive comments. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions you can ask, even though it's a silly question, and we are ready to answer, because that's the way we can learn the technology, that's the way we can learn the cognitive science and psychology and other things. I can give you my mail ID, sir. Please, okay. I can give my mail ID so that if you have any thing related to this technology, you can ask me. I am in Madurai, Yaharajar College of Engineering. So, due to network issue, call lost. Okay.
Participants kindly ask if you have any queries.
Madam, how can I use the students to teach them mechanical engineering topics like, sir, excellent, sir. So in the augmented reality, you can make the students to do whatever for example, during the COVID period, no? So our students went to IIT Kharagpur and they have done the project especially for this mechanical engineering. So they have created the lathe and how far each and every screw and other things that goes around. So they have make a simulation like in the augmented reality so that every student can visualize the particular machine. So it is also possible with augmented reality. If needed, you can get into the virtual reality also. But I think in the mechanical, there is no need to get into the virtual reality. It is better to go with the augmented reality. Can I show the demonstration of this mechanical lathe? I think if I'm having the laptop, I will show the demonstration of this mechanical lathe, how you can develop. Okay, I will show the demo. So this is one madam asked, no, what is the so we can develop a teacher model also. This is the first one we have tried. Now we are developing with the avatar of teacher so that how the teacher can teach the entire class. So these are the tracking sensors. So within this area only you have to stand and talk. So this is some of the real world. So this is a mechanical lathe you have asked, no? Okay. Lathe machine using accelerometer. So this is the project developed by our students in IIT Kharagpur during this January to March during the COVID time. So in the augmented reality, they have developed all those things. What are the movement and everything, how far it should be visualized in the augmented reality. Like every screw. Yes, ma'am?
The function of hand wheel is to set the position of the spindle. The spindle and the hand wheel are engaged by the screw mechanism. Suppose a nut is fixed and the bolt rotates about it. Then, along with
Screen share. Sharing better again.
the carriage assembly includes the compound rest, tool saddle, and apron. It supports and guides the
Sorry, screen share பார்க்கல. Okay, எங்க இருக்கு? Presenting. Share is okay. Sorry. Now I am sharing the screen. Okay. So this is the mechanical lathe you have asked for.
by the screw mechanism. Hand wheel. The function of hand wheel
Is it visible now, sir?
is to set the position
Okay.
of the spindle. The spindle and the hand wheel are engaged by the screw mechanism. Suppose a nut is fixed and the bolt rotates about it. Then, along with the carriage assembly includes the compound rest, tool saddle, and apron. It supports and guides the cutting tool. The carriage is engaged with the pinions.
So what are the students they're doing in the mechanical engineering? Everything that should be converted into the augmented reality and make them to visualize.
It's the driving system in lathe that supplies power feed to chuck. Turning is done to reduce diameter. Firstly, set the lathe to correct speed and feed rate according to size and material of workpiece. Then perform centering. This is done by matching the tip of cutting with the center attached to the lathe stock. Now, mark the point up to
So each and every operation you can develop in the augmented reality.
Also use chalk or other marker. Move the carriage to the end of a wheel. Set the tires given in cross-side handle and move the tool to required depth of cut.
Sir, the credit goes to our students only. They have developed in the IIT Kharagpur and they have learned, and now they have started the company. So that's a level in which they will go around.
When workpiece is done, it needs to be provided with extra support at the other end. This is done using clip stop. Place the center with a drill chuck. Lightly pressurize the drill bit into the workpiece. Start the lid and insert the drill bit into the workpiece using tailstock handle. You have to insert drill bit up to half the front taper portion of the drill bit. Now replace the chuck with the light center.
So this is how the games developed with the students. So any other doubt? During the COVID period, it is very difficult to go to the lab so that you can run the lab like this in a virtually. That is also possible in VR. I think I have taken the time. Okay, thanks a lot. Any other doubts you can ask? I have given my mail ID in the chat window. If you want anything related to this, you can ask me or you can mail me. I will do my level best to do for anyone.
Participants, if you have chat
Any doubt? Any online courses are available? Yes, in Coursera, many courses are available. Either you can pay the money. In our college, they have sponsored the thing, so the students learned more than 30 to 40 certificate courses. In Coursera, many courses are available. And apart from this, many BR basic Stanford University and other universities, they are giving most of the things. And I am having a lot of materials. If you want, you can mail to me. I will send the materials so that you can know what is VR and then you can get into that. So Coursera, many courses are available, and even if you are not paying, you can get the materials and you can have your own study also.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
So hope all participants cleared your doubts.
Okay.
Thank you, Tamal Shelvi ma'am, and thank you, Karthikeyan sir, for your wonderful sharing of knowledge on the topics perception engineering and cognitive science, and the very impressive demonstration on Google Earth VR and other mechanical engineering related things. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your valuable time with us.
Okay, ma'am.
So we share your valuable inputs with us. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. The participants, can you please ask the mail what you want? Instead of sending a general mail ID, if you send a personal mail to me so that I can give whatever you want. Instead of making... so I request the participant, you please send a personal mail to me what you want so that I can send those portions only. Okay. Mail ID கொடுத்துட்டேன் ஏற்கனவே. I think already given the mail ID. d.tamilselvi@tz.edu. Okay. Thanks to the organizers and thanks to Lavanya madam and thanks to the sir for supporting the thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you.
And thank you, Karthikeyan sir. Participants, please join the next session by 1:30 p.m. using the same link. Thank you.